Cinderella, 2015. After Ella's mother passes, she grows into a beautiful young woman, now played by Lily James, still living with her father. She reads a book to him, and her father tells her that she has come to know the widow of a lord that has just passed. Ella supports her father's decision to be happy. Ella's father marries Lady Tremaine, Kate Blanchett, and invites her and her two daughters, Anastasia, Holiday Granger, and Rosella, Sophie McShera, to live with them. Lady Tremaine brings her nasty cat Lucifer, who frightens Ella's mice friends. Her stepsisters also display unpleasant and obnoxious behavior. Ella's father must travel for business, leaving Ella with Lady Tremaine and her daughters. Lady Tremaine makes Ella sleep in the attic, so Ella decides to make the best of it and shape up with the mice. A man later arrives at Ella's home and tells her that her father became ill and passed away. He only ever spoke of her until the end. Lady Tremaine is only concerned that now she and her daughters must fend for themselves without any money. Ella sits by the door and cries. Lady Tremaine fires the help and forces Ella to do all the chores and take care of her and her daughters. They treat her cruelly and give her the name Cinderella. They do not allow Ella to sit at the table to share a meal, nor do they even give her sufficient food to eat at all. Lady Tremaine tells her this will distract her mind from the grief. It only makes Ella feel worse and more miserable. In her despair, Ella rides her horse into the woods. She comes across a massive stag, which becomes frightened when it hears the sound of men approaching. Ella tells the creature to run away to safety. She then encounters the handsome and charming Prince Kit, Richard Madden. He explains that he was hunting, but Ella argues that it shouldn't be done to scare the creature away. Impressed by her compassion and spirit, Kit does not address himself as a prince and says he is merely an apprentice. Ella leaves him, and Kit is left very smitten. Kit's father, the king, Derek Jacobi, is sick and close to death. He wants his son to choose a princess to marry at the upcoming ball. But Kit is still fascinated by the girl he met in the woods. He proposes that they invite everyone in the kingdom, besides the nobility, to the ball, in the hope that he may see Ella again. However, his father and the meddling Grand Duke, Stellan Skarsgård, insist that Kit may not marry out of love. Kit's friend, the captain of the guards, Nonso Inozi, is more supportive of Kit's choices. One of the king's men announces in the town that everyone is invited to the ball. Ella overhears and informs Lady Tremaine and her daughters. They all get excited, hoping to court the prince and climb the social ladder. They order Ella to go into town and fetch 3 dresses. Ella thinks they are being kind and are allowing her to join them, but Lady Tremaine laughs and says the 3rd dress is for her. Ella then decides to use her mother's old dress and make her own additions to it. Lady Tremaine and her daughters are leaving for the ball. Ella comes down the stairs in her dress. Lady Tremaine rips the shoulder, then lets Anastasia and Rosella tear up Ella's dress. They coldly tell her she will be nothing more than a servant girl and that she may not go to the ball. Ella runs away crying. An old beggar woman, Helena Bonham Carter, emerges and asks Ella for something to eat or drink. Ella fetches her a bowl of milk. Touched by her kindness, the beggar woman reveals herself to be Ella's fairy godmother. With a wave of her wand and the words, "Bibbidi bibbidi boo," the fairy godmother transforms a pumpkin into a carriage, the mice into horses, a lizard into a footman, and a goose into a coachman. She then attempts to fix up Ella's dress, but Ella says she wants to wear her mother's dress. The fairy godmother fixes it and turns it blue, while also giving her glass slippers and makes Ella look stunning. She also makes it so that neither Lady Tremaine nor her daughters will recognize her. She leaves Ella to go to the ball, but warns her that the magic will wear off after midnight. Ella arrives at the ball, while Kit is introduced to the Princess of Zaragoza, Joanna Perez. She makes a snide comment on the kingdom being small, to which Kit responds in a deadpan tone that he hopes it is not too confining for her, to the king's satisfaction. The moment Ella arrives, Kit smiles big and all eyes are on her. He brings her onto the floor so that she may have her first dance. Everyone watches them, and even Lady Tremaine cannot believe that this mystery girl is captivating the prince over her daughters. After the dance, Ella and Kit leave to spend time together. Ella sees that Kit is a kind and caring person, and he cares for his ailing father. Kit asks Ella for her name, but she notices the clock is about to strike midnight. Ella flees and drops one of her glass slippers. She bumps into the king and apologizes, but she tells him that his son is the most lovely person she's ever met and that he really loves his father. The guards chase after Ella as everything starts to go back to normal. When Lady Tremaine and her daughters return, Ella cannot help but smile and giggle as she overhears their story of the mystery girl at the ball. However, Lady Tremaine is suspicious. The king is lying on his deathbed. Kit sits by his side and admits that he wishes to follow his heart. His father tells him to marry for love. Kit weeps into his father's chest and stays by his side. After the king passes on, Kit is made king, and he has a messenger go into town so that he may find the girl with the glass slipper, and he hopes to marry her when he finds her. Ella, along with Anastasia and Rosella, overhear. Ella runs back home to the attic to search for the slipper she hid beneath the floorboards. She finds that it's not there, but Lady Tremaine is, and she's holding the slipper. She tells Ella her own story, that is her originally marrying for love, until her first husband died, leaving her with her daughters. She married again, only for Ella's father to die and leave her with Ella. Lady Tremaine considers it unfair that Ella should live happily, and knowing that, if she is indeed the mystery girl that the king will marry, she wants Ella to give her and her daughters power and a higher social status. Ella refuses, and Lady Tremaine smashes the slipper and locks Ella in the attic. Lady Tremaine brings the remains of the glass slipper to the Grand Duke. They conspire to keep Ella away from Kit, and in exchange, the Grand Duke will allow Lady Tremaine and her daughters to have whatever they want. All the women in the kingdom try on the other glass slipper, but none of them can fit it on their foots, despite their efforts. The king's guards arrive at Ella's home. The captain tries the slipper on Anastasia and Rosella, and it doesn't fit either of them. As they are leaving, the mice open the attic window to let the guards hear Ella as she sings. Lady Tremaine and the Grand Duke deny hearing any singing, but Kit, having been disguised as a guard, says he definitely hears singing. The captain gets Lady Tremaine to bring Ella downstairs. She forbids Ella from leaving. The captain asks who she is to deny her to go downstairs, and Lady Tremaine says she is Ella's mother. Ella firmly tells her she is not, and never will be her mother. She goes downstairs and reunites with Kit. She says she is not a princess, but she hopes that he will accept her as she is. He does, and hopes she will accept him as he is the same way. He puts the slipper on her foot, proving Ella is the mystery girl. Anastasia and Rosella throw their apologies to Ella, hoping to get in her good graces. Ella leaves with Kit, but not before turning to Lady Tremaine and simply saying, "I forgive you." Lady Tremaine and her daughters, along with the Grand Duke, are banished from the kingdom. The fairy godmother tells us that Ella and Kit got married, and they were the most beloved rulers that ever lived in that kingdom. She adds that one can learn from Ella's ability to see the world as it could be, with courage, kindness, and a bit of magic.